Can you turn on the chat, please?
Yeah. I just started the
What's going on, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? Cutting it close today, walking into the room with 8 seconds to go on the time clock there, but I made it just in time. Joe Garcia producing today's show. We're going to go for about an hour 15, hour and a half. We do sports, pop culture, nostalgia. We do all things fun, okay? Later on in the show, we're going to update the baddie brackets because here's the thing about the baddie brackets. We're trying to determine the hottest female celebrity of 2024. And we had 8 wrestling hotties going at it. And we're advancing 4 today, so we'll unveil who those 4 are. And we're going to unveil a new bracket for the baddies. This time it's going to be the Quirky girls, the Zooey Deschanel's of the world. We're going to figure out who of the Quirky girls are going to advance when it comes to it all. Lots going on in sports right now. Victor Wembanyama is going to be put on the shelf for at least 1 game because of an injury. I thought it was going to be his shoulder, but it looks more like his ankle is going to prevent him from playing. So should the Spurs shut him down for even longer than just 1 game? And beyond all that, the breaking news today that Iron Mike Tyson is going back into the ring to fight Jake Paul. Are you excited about this or not? Because I looked it up. Iron Mike Tyson will turn 58 years old between now and the fight. Are we excited about seeing Mike Tyson back in the ring? 58-year-old Mike Tyson going up against a 27-year-old man.
You know what? Tyson can still throw hands, man.
No, I understand that. But can he throw hands for 12 rounds or 10 rounds?
Jake Paul can't go that long, dude. He gets gassed after the 3rd or 4th.
Dude, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that this is a good thing, dude.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I think it's awful. It's exhibition boxing at its worst. Jake Paul can't fight anybody worth a damn that's actually, let's say, boxing at an elite level.
Right.
The guy is just, he's a fraud, man.
Yeah.
And I don't watch that stuff, you know?
And if we get a chance, by the way, in this show, there's a TikTok that I came across that I want people to listen to.
We do have Jeff on standby.
Okay, cool. That I do want people to listen to because a lot of guys hated this TikTok, but a lot of women loved it. And I want to know if it's a sexist thing, if it's a materialistic thing. We'll get into that later in the show. But we have Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 on the line. What's going on, Jeff Garcia, my man?
Nothing much, dude, man. I'm getting sucked into this Tyson Paul thing too, man. I am just like, my eyes just popped out. I was like, what is going to happen?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Doesn't Jake Paul have to like go up several weight classes? Like just to face Tyson? Because Tyson's got to outweigh him, right?
Well, I mean, Mike Tyson back in 1987 might have outweighed.
No, I know. But even now, I mean, look at the video. He's still a big dude.
Well, Jake Paul right now, his last fight went in at 183. So
I think Tyson's over. I think Tyson's over 200.
Yeah, but is he a built 200 or is he a fat ass?
Well, it doesn't matter because if they want to get it sanctioned by the state of Texas, then they got to have the weight classes met. If not, then they're going to slap on the word exhibition, and then okay, you can get away with it.
So Mike Tyson is 5'10", Jake Paul 6'1", so we've got that aspect of it all. Jake Paul, a smaller guy, more than likely. But you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's going to be on Netflix, so Netflix is getting into the boxing game, and Jake Paul, very popular fighter these days. And again, you know, it's one of those things where I look at it and I think to myself, if you're going to be sanctioned on here, like you said, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation will somehow have to sponsor this. Are they fighting this in Dallas? Where's this going to be?
Arlington. Yeah, they're in Jerry World, I believe. Yeah,
Jerry World.
But again, I believe I'm not a total, complete boxing or knowledge guy, but I think to get it sanctioned, you got to have about the same weight classes. If not, then you can slap on the word exhibition and then be okay. Well, then good luck, y'all.
I just started a poll in the chat, and I'm asking the viewers: will you be watching the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight?
We all are.
It's just because of Tyson. It's because of Tyson.
Yeah,
Tyson's a draw.
Now Jake Paul is 9-1 with 6 KOs. He defeated UFC stars.
Yeah, versus who? Bums.
Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley. I mean, it's one of those things we've seen back in the day. The George Foremans of the world go out there and fight, and some have done better than others when they're old. Evander Holyfield looked like garbage.
Oh, he's old and tired, man.
Dude, What is Mike Tyson? They're the same
Tyson's
age.
still looking like he could fight.
And who the hell did Paul fight in the last one? I mean,
Nobody.
did the guy even go to the gym?
Dude, okay, well, let me ask you this. When it comes to legacy, Jake Paul goes out there, even if he's 27 years old and Mike Tyson's 58, Jake Paul goes out there and kicks Tyson's ass because I believe that's what's going to happen.
Nah, I don't think so.
Dude, he's 58.
I don't think so.
He's 58. Guy 27, prime of his life.
That punching power ain't going to go anywhere.
Okay, first of all, he didn't really knock out that guy in The Hangover. Zach Galifianakis was not really hit. Dude, I'm sorry, man. Mike Tyson, I'm gonna watch it.
I mean, this has rigged written all over it too.
Tyson can still throw hands. That's all I'm saying.
Now I wonder who's.
I'm with Joe. Yeah, I agree with you, Joe.
Hey, we got a request, Jeff. They want us to play the intro for you. So
all right, get it out of your system. Get it out of your system.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
that's great, man. This is great.
Oh yeah,
dollar bills, y'all.
Now here's
there
the thing.
You go. Get it out of your system. All right, is it out? All right, fine. Let's move on.
Speaking of the money, by the way, DraftKings Sportsbook has come out with its first odds of this fight.
Oh, what are the odds?
Heavy favorite, Jake Paul.
Weak. Suckers bet.
So if you bet that Mike Tyson's going to win this fight, it's plus 300. You're getting 3-1 on your money. To make $100 on Jake Paul, you need to give up 360 to profit 100.
Suckers bet.
Dude, Jake Paul's going to kick Tyson's ass because Tyson is 58 years old, dude.
I think Tyson puts him to sleep in
unless,
the first round.
unless it's rigged. If it's rigged, then
no, man. Why does everything have to go to rig, dude?
Because he's just a little boy. He's a little kid. Has no business doing this.
No, this is just me going off on a tangent here. Okay, everything's rigged, right? Elections. Trump gets his ass handed to him by Biden. Oh, it's rigged. The Chiefs win the Super Bowl. It was the script. I cannot stand that talk
it's
anymore.
Rigged. Mike finishing a marathon. It's all rigged.
No, that is called.
Yeah, exactly. Mike in the marathon rigged.
That's called me being athletic.
Oh God, Jeff, get your boy.
Come
get your boy, Jeff.
I hate to say it. It is what it is. Even my son.
Elias
coming out and saying
no.
Jimenez, actually did this.
He says he's athletic, Jeff. He's got that 32-inch vertical, man.
Yeah. I seen Jimenez with me in the gym.
Yeah, but
hey,
let's go for a race. Let's go for a race.
Finish the workout with Jeff. I'll give you that.
You know what? It's different, man, and it's so funny because I had a friend come up to my house the other day. My friend Sean. And we were talking about like different workouts that are there. Like there's some people who are good at like boxing. There's some people who are good at running. Some that are good at other things, lifting weights, whatever the case may be. But for some reason, I've always been really good at shoulders, like shoulder work. I can outdo most people at shoulders. But when it comes to like chest stuff and all that, I need help when it comes to that. But going back to Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, this is Netflix getting into the realm of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And
hey, Joe, is it true that they're also getting into wrestling too? Why do you remember something like that? Netflix and wrestling.
Yeah, Netflix is getting into wrestling, but it's not going to happen until I think another year or so. It's
so Jimenez, you're right. Yeah, they're trying to get into the world of sports now.
Yeah, and it's big. I mean, it changes the dynamic of sports when you have to go on to the Amazons of the world, when you have to go on to the Peacocks to watch sports. But I find it fascinating, this pivot that Netflix is having. Netflix needs to have a pivot because if you go on Netflix right now, it is not even close to being the best streaming service anymore. It used to be. Now I equate Netflix right now to the middle aisles of Blockbuster Video back in the day. God. They have nothing that's on the wall. It's everything that's in the middle, right? So for them to pivot and go on into sports is very, very cool. But when I heard this, part of me was like, I'm going to watch it, right? I'm going to watch it, even though I don't want to. Kind of like, a lot of fights in the early 2000s with Floyd Mayweather Jr. I would watch it, and I couldn't stand watching Mayweather fight. Mayweather was the most boring fighter of my lifetime, and I know he's undefeated and all-time great, but he was so boring, but you had to watch it because of the spectacle of it all. Going into the Mike Tyson fight, because he's fighting a big name, he's not fighting somebody that we don't know. We know Jake Paul's an up-and-coming fighter. We know that he has the social media aspect of it all.
Fighter, quote unquote.
Dude, he's a 27-year-old man. Dude, if you and I went out, and it doesn't, to me, it's just the age, dude.
I
It's
just
the
look at his
age
fight
and-
card, Jimenez. It's not impressive.
Okay. Mike Tyson's fight card has been being retired except for 1 or 2 fights the last 25 years.
Yeah, but he fought against real fighters, not this kid.
Okay. Yeah. I fought against real fighters at Fiesta 20 years
Oh,
ago.
my
Oh, good Lord.
No, but DraftKings coming out. I think that people are good. You say it's sucker's bet. I think the sucker's bet is to fall in love with a fighter who is pushing 60. Mike Tyson's going to get his ass handed to him, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to
Joe,
see it.
Joe, I agree with you what you just said right now. Tyson wins or it's rigged. I'm right there with you, Joe.
Look at this deal, man. I like this comment. MJ, Boulder Shoulders.
You know what? Shoulders, I have pretty decent shoulder work when it comes to it. I'm also good at the inverted what's it called? Leg press. Those are my two things. Most people can probably outdo me when it comes to bench press. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I suck at. You know, or at least what I'm decent at.
You know what? I'd like to see you in a foot race with Jeff.
Huh. Interesting. Depends on the length of time.
Maybe we could get it, do it for charity.
Like we talk about like Leha and Jeff. They might beat me from here to the end of the street. But if we go from here to 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles, I don't stop, dude. I did my.
What about the treadmill, man?
The treadmill's not real running.
Oh,
treadmill's not real running. I mean, that's like saying Papa. That's like saying Papa. That's like saying Papa shot is real basketball.
Tyson's got Michael Jimenez all riled up. Listen to him.
man.
It does. It's got you
I
riled
think you would
up,
smoke
man.
him in a foot race, Jeff. What do you think?
Well, okay, is it a sprint or a marathon? He could
Oh,
probably beat me in a sprint. I'm not downing that. But I would say this:
If it's a sprint, yeah, because I got more. You know what I'm talking about, Jimenez, right? Like you look at the sprinters right now in the Olympics.
Yeah,
they're
Big legs.
they look like
man.
they look like bodybuilders.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Yeah.
But who would win in a race 5 miles, 10 miles? I probably would because I have that's what I excel at. And by the way, Jeff, my pace was 11:49, dude. I mean, that wasn't bad for my size. By the way, they said I saw this article online that says for a 10K, if you want to handicap like against a friend who had a better running time, they said for every 2 pounds, you get to shave off 15 seconds off the time. So basically, you compare the weights, and then you can kind of say, okay, based on this person should beat this person by this many minutes. I found that to be fascinating. But going back to the boxing, Jake Paul, has he fought anybody good? No, because he's fighting MMA guys, right? And MMA guys focus on a lot of different types of styles of fighting, and it's not the same. I get that. Mike Tyson has obviously been through more battles. But then again, if you think about it this way, Mike Tyson didn't box back in the day. He fought.
Oh
God.
Man, that's probably your worst
Can we
thing.
switch to Spurs talk now?
Are we gonna pretend that Mike Tyson fought 10, 12 round battles? He didn't.
He didn't have to.
You didn't have to, exactly. That's what a boxer does. In and out, make it clean, less damage.
Okay, but those days ended a long time ago, dude. Those days ended a long time ago. You know, the days of Peter McNeely going out there and being. Remember when Mike Tyson went up there to fight Peter McNeely, and McNeely's bouncing left and right, and Mike Tyson's just eyeballing him left and right, left and right. I gotta find that video. That was amazing. That to me is the most iconic part of Mike Tyson. But Mike Tyson hasn't fought well since the 80s, dude. Since he went into prison in the early 90s. He wasn't the same guy when he came back out. Has he fought since then? Sure. Has he won a few bouts since then? Sure. But that's been 1991. Dude, let me tell you how long it's been since Mike Tyson's been a good boxer. Okay? You take the number of years that the Cowboys have not won a Super Bowl and you add like 6.
Could you be in the round? How many rounds could
Dude,
you last with Tyson?
who gives a shit if I can be in there with him? Why is that, how is that a take? You're saying that I have bad takes?
No,
That's an
I'm
awful
just saying.
take.
You're saying
Hey,
that
Joe.
he is not a boxer. Like he's already old. He's dated. He can't do much.
He's
He was never
he's
a
going
boxer.
against somebody
Joe.
who is trying
I'm
to be
like,
a boxer.
come on, man.
Joe, let's do Jimenez a favor. So the Spurs play the Kings tonight, okay?
Yeah.
And because Jimenez, you're gonna get piled on for your bagging on Tyson and his record and his style of fighting and
Tyson
everything.
I love Mike Tyson.
Tyson would put us all away with one
Yeah,
punch,
okay,
man.
okay. Let's
10 seconds.
Let's go back in time. Let's go back in time. We get very nostalgic about the NBA from the 80s and 90s, right? Because
Yeah.
of Magic and Kareem and Bird and Jordan and the bad boy Pistons and all of that stuff, right? And then you go into Jordan and all that time, and then the Spurs finally getting it going in the late 90s. Boxing at that time was wonderful. Dude, everything from Marvelous Marvin Hagler to Thomas
golden era.
Hearns to Sugar Ray Leonard in the middle what's called the middleweight fighters, right? And then you go off and then you had the heavyweight fighters where you had Evander Holyfield and you had Mike Tyson and you had the end of Foreman and you had all of these guys going at each other. And boxing was so much fun. It was so entertaining, right? So I am not saying that I wasn't a Mike Tyson fan. I loved watching Mike Tyson. Dude, one of the big stories that we had growing up was we had a pay-per-view. Remember, you had to pay a lot of money to have a pay-per-view.
60 bucks, something like that.
Now it's the same price now, right? But it's actually more. Well,
More. Yeah.
it's more now, but when it comes to in comparison to what it was, okay, it felt like it was a lot more money then than it is now. I remember my family getting a fight one time, and it's like, are we going to do this? Are we going to put in the $60? And we got it, and the fight was over in 30 seconds. Dude, people hadn't even sat down with their nachos yet, and the fight was over. Mike Tyson was a ridiculously intimidating fighter for so long. And then with that whole thing with Robin Givens, went to prison, came back out, was not the same fighter. And then if you go back to the time when he got upset in Japan, right? Was it Japan that he fought and he got knocked out? And no one could believe it. It's like one of those things where you look at it and you think to yourself, how did this guy lose? Who did he fight again? Buster Douglas. He fought Buster Douglas and got his ass handed to him in one of the greatest fights ever. Because Mike Tyson, if he didn't knock you out in the first round and it became a boxing match, he was going to lose because he didn't know how to box. He knew how to fight. He didn't know how to box. He
You're
knew how to
stepping
fight.
into Fernandez's realm here. He's saying, save the boxing talk for tomorrow, Jimenez, because he's going to be on tomorrow and we're going to be talking the world of boxing. So I'm sure we're going to pick your brain, or he'll pick your brain about Tyson versus Paul.
Right.
Yeah.
But DraftKings is thinking the same way I am.
What were the odds again?
Minus 360 for Jake Paul, plus 300 for Mike Tyson.
Place the bet, Jeff.
We got to drive to Louisiana now to place that bet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to Vegas in 2 weeks, so I can do that bet for you over there, man.
You know what? I think
Mirage.
you should just show up to the Whataburger and just have your phone and your headphones.
Yeah, you know what?
F it. Dude.
You know what? And now that I think about it, now that I'm going to be out there, I'll probably not do the whole show. I'll probably do segments.
There you go.
Okay, from the sports book, going around there with my iPhone and my AirPods and just walk around and do a walk and talk and all that stuff. But I'll do any bets that anybody needs over there. You know, pretty cool. But the whole Mike Tyson fight, I'm gonna watch it. I have to.
Yeah, everybody's gonna watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the question is it going to be a good fight? Is it going to be a train wreck? How do you determine, Jeff, that this is a good fight or not?
So first of all, it's a bad fight because Jake Paul's in it. So, and then
is it not a bad fight because Mike Tyson at 58?
I just don't buy this little kid boxer. It's
exhibition boxing. It's something that you could see at a mall or something, and they spin it because he has a big following, and they want you to pay to see that. That's ridiculous, man. People are paying to watch exhibition amateur boxing. You see better fights here locally in your local.
Is it even amateur boxing, Joe? Seriously,
it's entertainment. Is what it is, Jeff.
Yeah.
Pure entertainment.
Again,
yeah, I watch these for the entertainment value of it, not for the boxing value of it.
And that's the sad thing about boxing. Boxing used to be great, man. Boxing.
No, it's not a sad thing about boxing. It's a sad thing about this genre of quote unquote boxing.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's entertainment. That's all it is. People are paying to watch now. Ridiculousness.
Now this is going to be on Netflix, but let me ask you this question: would you go to this fight?
Oh hell no! I wouldn't spend money to go there.
Yeah,
no.
And Gerald's going to be expensive already.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. I'd rather go see Jeff. We'd rather go see a real fight. You know, hey, they have better fights. They said at Fiesta You can watch the Sucias go at it, and they probably put on a better show. Hey, a Sucia versus Mike at Fiesta. I bet you the Sucia would win.
The woman, that's why. But the fight is July 20th, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Again, also known as Jerry World, going to be on Netflix. Officials told ESPN it's going to be part of a big card of fights that it's going on over there. Now, one of the promoters said in a statement, quote, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is a once-in-a-lifetime dream matchup, and I anticipate it being the most watched boxing event in modern boxing history. Is that true or false?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the spectacle of it. It's just that it's Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, but again, I have the thing about labeling it boxing. I don't agree with it.
Yeah,
Nope.
Tim Gonzalez wants to ask Jeff a Spurs question, but we'll get into that when we get into our Spurs take.
We'll get to the Spurs
Yeah.
in a moment. But again, the fight's going to be in late July, Jerry World. I'm going to watch it. I'm sure we're all going to watch it.
Yeah, we're all going to watch it. Yeah.
Even the ones who say that they don't want to watch it, it's going to be enough of a train wreck that we're going to watch it anyway.
Half of them want to see Tyson put this little kid on the floor fast,
I'm not paying to watch it. We'll put it like that, Jeff. I got you, man. So don't worry.
Well, we know the secret connections Joe has.
I got you, my friend.
Very cool, man. Talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. You can follow him on Twitter and on Threads at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Brings you all that silver and black coverage. Jeff, my understanding that there were some technical difficulties when it comes to the Rockets game, but we don't have to get into that. But the Spurs lost to the Rockets. They're going to be taking on the Sacramento Kings coming up. Kings, a very, very good team. Spurs, correct me if I'm wrong, are going to be without Wemby.
Yep, no Wemby tonight, so it's all hands on deck. Zach Collins likely will get the start. Don't know yet, but more than likely Collins will get that start. So it's going to be a rough one for the Spurs. Now, there's good news, though. The Kings have lost the last 2 games in their gym, so yay. Hopefully that'll play well for the Spurs. Other thing to keep an eye on is turnovers. Turnovers have been plaguing this Spurs team. Joe, Mike, 6 consecutive games with the Spurs having more turnovers than the opposition. They're shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
They're just shooting themselves in the foot so bad. But at the same time, the one thing they have been doing great of late is they're making more 3-point shots than the opposition. So they're connecting on their shots. It's like if one thing goes right, something's faltering. And it's not like a little thing like, oh, missed rotation. It's a big thing like turnovers. Okay, great. Yay, you're knocking your threes down, but you're turning the ball over. How many times? Okay, yay. You're playing with more composure, but you get out physical. So this is a team that needs to be firing on all cylinders every single game until the season's over.
Now, what kind of blackmail does Julian Champagny have on Greg Popovich to be starting all over again?
Are you surprised, though? I mean, this is historically Pop has done this. We saw this with Bryn Forbes. So, I mean, it's not out of – nobody should be surprised that Popovich is leaning on a guy like a Forbes as he did or a Champagny.
What if Champagny balls out tonight?
Well, I mean, that'd be what, 1 game?
I mean,
out of
also
10?
too. I mean, look, all players go through ruts. I mean, Malachi Brown went through one and he got benched. Your son went through one. Jimenez, Malachi, now he came out of it.
This is his son now, Jeff. I don't know if you can see. It's Jeremy Sohan. He signed the apology form. I'm sure you saw.
Oh, was it painful, Jimenez, to do it?
Was it painful, dude? Okay, I'll tell you what was painful. This is the reaction that I have there was going out there to Houston and being in the stands, 5th row, wearing silver and black, wearing a Wemby jersey, knowing that 90% of the crowd is going for the Rockets, and then seeing a scuffle down there, and I kind of felt like I had to defend my guy. And when you saw the entire game, the Spurs were getting beaten up by the Rockets because Dylan Brooks was out there being dirty. Van Vliet was pushing around, and the Spurs did not respond in kind. Keldon just complained the entire time. Devin complained. Trey Jones complained. Wemby complained. And the only one who did anything assertive physically was Sohan. And did Sohan trip Amen Thompson on purpose? Yes. That was flagrant. That was flagrant. Now I know he made it appear as though it wasn't, but it was.
He fell. He was trying to get up.
And you know why he did it on purpose? Because he stood right back up. right? So because of that kind of puts 2 and 2 together. But I'm not mad at it because I'm there screaming in the stands, go kick his ass, Jeremy, because it was about damn time that somebody on the Spurs stood up for themselves and stood up for the team. I remember there was a play a couple of years ago where Keldon Johnson, I don't know who they were playing against, but Keldon Johnson got just I
remember
hard.
this. Yes,
he got thrown to the ground behind the basket and everything. He slid
I think
across.
it was in the DeMar DeRozan phase.
Yeah.
That's when it happened. Yeah,
and
I remember that.
I remember none of the Spurs, none of the teammates went up to the player that did that to him. And I thought to myself, this team's soft.
Yeah, soft.
This team is soft. And because even back in the day, if you go back to the Spurs when they were winning titles in 99, 03, 05, 07, and 14, they had enforcers out there. They had the Mario Ellies and the Steven Jacksons of the world, the Bruce Bowens who would get dirty with
Kevin Willis.
They would have somebody out there who is going to defend the star. And I guess Jeremy's that guy, but I don't think Jeremy's big enough to be that guy necessarily. But at least against the Rockets, he stood up and was like, enough of this shit, got up, got a little dirty, and was dusting up. And then when he blew 3 kisses at Amen Thompson, it won me over. I was like, and it had to be, because if this happened at the Frost Bank Center, I wouldn't have been as excited. But I had to stand up I had to stand up and cheer against the Rockets and cheer for the Spurs because I was in the building of enemy territory. I got caught up in the moment. And I'm like, only I can get pissed off at that dude, Sohan. You guys can't. We're family, okay? We may not like each other. I might not like him. He might not like me. But we're family because we all want the Spurs to win. Screw everybody here in red and white. So, yes, Jeff, I did sign this.
Yeah, you signed it in pen or pencil?
Pen. It's in pen.
But not Sharpie. Not Sharpie.
It's a pen. There's the signature. And I'm going to frame it and I'm going to put it on the wall so he can see it every day he comes in here.
I like Dio's comment, by the way. It says Bellinelli, Marco Bellinelli went through a rut his entire last year with us. Pop kept him in bricking 7 threes a game.
It's like, why is anybody surprised this is not happening with Champagne? I mean, Pop has done this before.
I just think that Pop is just being bullheaded.
But he's done this before, though. So, I mean, if you're saying he's bullheaded, then he's been bullheaded for how many years then?
Yeah, it was, that's just Pop being Pop, dude. And I agree with you that it's just Pop being Pop because, are they tanking? Is that what they're doing low key? Do you get that suspicion?
That's crossed my mind before, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
You think they're just that bad?
I think they're just a bad mix.
Because Spurs fans got amped up. Now, here's the thing. Before the game started against the Rockets, and it was weird, being so close to the stand, to the court. As my dad said, he thought we were going to be shooting free throws because we were so close to the court. My dad loved it. Before the game started, they started slapping Wemby on the shoulder. They they were hitting him hard on the shoulder.
You know what? I saw that on the replay.
Yeah,
I saw that. They're hitting him hard. Yeah, so I think they're just trying to test out his pain threshold, perhaps.
Yeah, that's what they were testing out. But he was wincing. He was just like, ugh. Like you could tell he was in pain. But then,
something tells me that he forced himself on the court. He made the final decision.
But the
Spurs rolled with it.
The injury that happened though had nothing to do with the shoulder. It was his ankle. So
no, because what I'm actually trying to get at is that I thought that they were going to sit him down for Houston, and I think.
Yeah, he talked about it.
He talked about it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the sad thing was that it wasn't his shoulder that got nicked up again. It was an ankle. So now to me, I'm like, put this guy in bubble wrap, man. I don't want to see him out there for a while.
Yeah.
What are they playing for now? I mean, if they should be shifting now to the draft already.
Exactly. They should be. Well, right around this time of year, you should be rolling out other lineups, getting some of the younger players some run, sitting some of your more tenured players that have played a lot of minutes just to kick the tires, see what you got, give the younger guys some experience. You got nothing to play for at this point.
We're getting some grief right now from Rob D right now saying more Spurs talk, eye roll. Dude, the first 25 minutes was about Mike Tyson, dude. Welcome to the party. If you were on YouTube, rewind to the very beginning of the show We were talking boxing for 25 minutes.
We're talking Spurs because the Spurs are playing today.
And we are in the city of San Antonio.
Yeah, I was going to ask Jeff a question, and it has something to do with basketball. So, Jeff, we're some of the OGs here, right? So I got to ask you, in honor of Throwback Thursday, what era of jerseys do you think was the pinnacle of design, so to speak? To me, I think it was the 90s era, man. The 90s, they had some amazing jerseys, man.
For me, it was the ABA days.
Really?
Yeah, the ABA days. There's just something about them. The
Nice,
the
clean.
uniqueness of it, clean, unique. I mean, look at the Spurs, San Antonio. Literally quote unquote San Antonio across the chest. Look at the 76ers. It just there was something about it. There was something about that era. I mean, even at that time, the New Orleans Jazz jerseys were pretty cool.
Seth Elias reaches out to us saying the early 2000s Raptors jerseys were fire. I agree with those, man. Those were the Vince Carter jerseys from back in the day. I was a big fan of the early 90s Phoenix Suns jersey.
Yeah.
With the purple one with the orange sun that was like a basketball shooting through it. That was really cool. People gave me grief last year on social media because I was in Seattle and I wanted to buy a Sonics jersey. And they're like, well, that's not your team. I'm like, well, it's not even a team anymore. It is a defunct team. I know they're the Oklahoma City Thunder, but still the Sonics gear with the red and the green and gold was pretty cool back
Seattle
in the day.
Supersonics, yeah.
I mean, because I envisioned Sean Kemp.
Remember the Hornets jerseys from back in the 90s,
Jeff?
Pinstripes.
The starter jackets that came along with it, man. And then the style back then of the gold Michigan Wolverines Fab 5 jerseys.
Those are tight.
The Running Rebels jerseys from UNLV as well. It's the glory days. Is it the glory days of sports, or is it just simply because we got old?
I don't know.
We got old.
Different era.
We got old.
Different era.
Well, it's different. I mean, I talked about this with my kids all the time. I'm like, you'll never know the joys of a Friday evening going to Blockbuster to try to map things out.
Yeah. Remember that, Jeff?
Speak it.
Remember, Jeff? Remember we used to go when we were younger? You'd go to either the Blockbuster, you'd go to the HEB Hollywood Video, and we would go for the video. But what was the first thing we would go for? The beeline was straight to what, Jeff? The video games.
That's right. Jason Garcia.
Well, Jimenez, you wouldn't know because you weren't into video games.
I liked video games. I played video games and I watched sports. That's all I did growing up. Jason Garcia is out and saying Supersonics. All I know is that the S is for super and the U is for unique. The P is for perfection. Then you know that we are freaks. The E is for exotic and the R is for rap. Why I know that still, I don't know. Did you ever make it over to CD Exchange, Jeff, back in the day to go?
I remember.
Dude, the days of the CD Exchange, just checking out the jams, man. That's all it was.
I remember going to a little mom and pop store on Military Drive, close to 35 South, right before you go underneath that underpass.
Yeah.
And it was in a little plaza, and it was just a mom and pop electronics store. And they would rent videos. And I still remember to this day, my dad took me there and we rented like all 3 VHS tapes of the OG Star Wars trilogy. And I had it for the entire weekend. My dad and I forgot we had to turn it in, and he went back and he dropped off the tapes and he came back angry because he had a big fee to pay because of the late fine. So
oh, man. You remember, Jeff, the one thing that I liked on Military is they used to have this huge video place where you could go rent videos. It wasn't a Blockbuster or anything like that. It was a little mom and pop place, but it was right before you got to like the Kmart, like right across the street. I don't know if you ever went there. It was like
that sounds familiar.
2 or 3 sizes the time. It was 2 to 3 sizes the time of a Blockbuster. It was like massive, man. It was huge, and you could just go in there, and they had like aisles in the middle. They had a whole bunch of shelves on the wall. I mean, you could just go in there and rent just about anything you could think of, man. They had it there.
So people are reaching out to us saying Pop and Go Video. Man, I remember Pop and Go Video.
Yeah, I remember Pop and Go Video, yep.
I know Jeff was an SEO like me, and we try to go behind the little beaded curtain.
The beaded curtain.
Man, I would like do the side eye when I
Take a
would
peek.
cut across
Yeah,
that section. Be like,
My
hey, what's
man.
going on over here?
yeah. The you're going to hell if you go across the beaded curtain
Yeah.
off of Fredericksburg Road. I remember Pop and Go. Jesus.
Oh, geez, man. Rob D says, I would rent videos from Albertsons. Damn, I remember that.
Another saying
Mhm.
Hollywood Video. Hollywood Video was
That was the
relatively
shit,
legit, dude.
It was the shit.
It was
man.
relatively legit over there, man. But dude, Blockbuster Video, in retrospect, is the only company that I've ever done a job interview for that didn't offer me the job.
Pop and Go.
No, it was Blockbuster.
Oh, Blockbuster. Okay.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
So when it went
Yeah,
under,
and
I was like, well, sweet, that's what you guys get.
In
Karma.
high school, I used to work at Century South.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah, and I was in
Wow.
hie school, and I would at the time I was obviously living with my parents, and I would walk to work, and we had this. There would be this booklet like in your day off that you would sign, and you could bring in one guest, and you would sign your name in, and then what I would do is get like a date in, right? Like, okay, fine, let's go watch a movie. And then I would go behind the concession stands, grab some free stuff, and come back out. And so it was awesome.
He says free stuff. What he means is I stole some stuff.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, but I had a friend of mine in high school. Tell me if you think this was a good thing or not. We would go to Blockbuster to go rent video games, right? Whether it be old Nintendo games or whatever. We'd go to his garage. He would unscrew it all. He would steal the game contents of the game that he wanted, and then he would reinsert a game in there and return it of a game he didn't want anymore. So, for example, if he wanted the latest Tecmo Bowl,
Mhm.
right, he'd rent the latest Tecmo Bowl, but would give them back Super Mario Brothers. And on top of that,
intricate.
So he would have a Tecmo Bowl.
Tales from the Hood, Mike.
He'd have a Tecmo Bowl with a Super Mario Brother cover. He'd have to label it with tape so that he'd know what one it is. But then he'd go back to Blockbuster outraged, going, dude, I just rented this. It's Super Mario. Someone ripped you off. It was him that was doing the ripping off.
God, dude.
So Joe,
So what would they do for him? Just give him his money back, or what?
yes,
Ridiculous, man.
he'd go to different Blockbusters and do all that crap.
He's going to hell.
But I like that Jeff mentioned the fact of the late fees. Jeff, did you ever like get excited about going to Blockbuster to go rent a movie, and then you roll up to the counter and you've got $20 of late fees that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, you were expecting that. Or one of my favorite things is to get to a Blockbuster and like let's say whatever the latest James Bond movie,
Yeah.
and it's not there, and you would like wait around to see if somebody would drop it off in the container.
Yeah, because you knew
And
that
then,
you knew that that noon was the cutoff time, so you'd have to show up at 11:45.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So then you would ask them, oh, did such and such come on? They're like, let me look. Yeah, it did. You want to rent it? Yeah. So I remember doing that a lot.
People are saying that Jason Garcia saying I'm ratting out my friends.
He's a
dude.
snitch.
Statute
Mike's a
of
snitch.
Statute of limitations is already gone, dude. I mean, Blockbuster cannot recoup their losses at this point. It's been 20 years. Although Blockbuster does have one video store still open. I
Mhm.
believe it's in
Yep.
Oregon. That's kind of a if I'm on that side of the country type of thing that I'd want to go check out. That's
Tim
awesome.
Gonzalez says, remember back in the days, Kmart and Walmart at the electronics, it was like a CD player, and you
Mhm.
put the headphones and you could listen.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
They used to have that too, Jeff, like in South Park Mall. What was the name of the video and the CD place they had there? Do you remember the name of it? I forgot the name of it, but they just had like a whole bunch of CDs. Oh, I think I lost him.
Dude, but it's fun going back in time and thinking about all this. And I tell my kids, and the reason why I brought this conversation was because my daughter had a class essay that she had to write, and the essay was about electronics and whether electronics and all the advancements in that realm is a good thing or a bad thing. And I was telling her, it is good that there's streaming. It is good that we have the internet. But back in the day, it was different, and maybe just maybe with the positives, there's been a whole lot of negatives. Some of the negatives are, I told her, I said, my friends, we would all get together to go play video games. And now what are they doing? They play video games in their own room, right?
Well, now it's for a job now. You can literally get a full triple figure with the NBA 2K League playing video games.
Right, but you can. And I see what you're saying with that. But when you and I were growing up, we play video games. If we wanted to play a racing game, or we wanted to play a Tecmo tournament, or when Madden first came out, we'd have to go to each other's homes to do that, and we'd have to like clean our room. Our friends come over, ask for permission, all that stuff. And now, my daughter's playing video games in her room against her friends who are in their room, so they don't have that social thing where they're actually together.
You have to ask permission for your friends to come over? I didn't. I remember my parents, they would get the knock on the door for the neighborhood kids, and they'll just say, hey, we're here to play video games. And mom, okay, he's in the back. They'll just go like that.
Yeah, I told my daughter that, when it came to Saturdays,
I
would leave the house at or maybe I'd leave the house Friday night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. You know what?
And I wouldn't come back till Sunday.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, because my parents have home videos of me and my sister growing up. And there's one where they just kind of made one just for my sister. So, she's being a little girl and jumping up and down, do girly things. And then you see the timer, like the timestamp, and it's 1 a.m.
Oh, kind of dropped off there.
Kind of dropped off.
Well, the Minnesota Timberwolves, their chances of going far in the playoffs might have taken a big old hit. Karl Anthony Towns has torn his meniscus, according to a report from the Athletics' Shams Charania. It's going to be out an indefinite amount of time. This happened in his last game. Right now, Minnesota is 43-19 and is number 1 right now in the Western Conference. Cat averaging 22 points per game, 8 rebounds. That's a game. That's a team right there that had a legit chance. Now, let me ask you this, Joe. Let me ask you this. When it comes to the Western Conference, the top teams right now are Minnesota, Oklahoma City Thunder. Part of me is thinking that I would much rather have the younger teams go at it than the Lakers, because I'm tired of listening.
The Lakers,
I'm tired, dude. I've been watching, listen to the Skip Bayless or Colin Cowherd,
Jeff's
all that
back.
stuff.
He's got to sign off.
Okay. But they're all talking about how the Lakers are going to make a run, all that stuff, and it's all just crap, dude. I'll take the Nuggets over them all day, every day. I'll take the Thunder over them all day, every day. But anyway, again, Karl Anthony Towns is out. So Jeff, you have to take off right now?
Yeah. But the latest Locked On Spurs just dropped right now.
Who's today's guest?
Raul Dominguez of the AP Sports here in San Antonio.
Very nice.
We're talking about Malachi Branham's improved play.
My son.
Previewing tonight's game, Spurs Kings, and then asking the question, although we know the answer is, did Sengun expose Wemby? But I think everybody knew how to handle Wemby. So we discussed that and a lot more. And real quick, guys, pay attention to tomorrow's Locked On Spurs. A very special guest is coming on.
Oh, nice.
Nice
Make
tease.
sure to
I like it.
Check that out.
That is Jeff Garcia. Follow him on Twitter and Threads at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Again, Locked On Spurs available on YouTube as well. So subscribe to him there. I subscribe on Spotify as well. Jeff Garcia, thanks for being on with us.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, later.
Later.
So, Joe, this is not a pop culture take, but I'm going to see if we can hear some of this. I sent a video to you that cracked me up. And let's see if we can get the audio working on this loud enough.
Okay, hold on. You got to change the audio source. Hold on, I'll help you.
Okay. So I'm asking this question because there is a young lady who has a TikTok out that has over 1 million views right now. And I'm fascinated by it because, unfortunately, I'm going through a divorce right now. And ultimately, I'm going to start dating again. And it got me thinking about what people want when it comes to dating and what people are looking for. And I found this girl. Okay, so I'm gonna play it from the beginning. So the reason it had over 1 million views, right? And I want to know. My question that I have is she saying anything inappropriate? Is she coming at it wrong because it's a young lady coming back from a date talking to her mom about it? Just want to play a portion of it, okay?
He took me back to his house, not
Kinda
because
low.
he wanted to do anything. Told me the renovations he's doing in his basement.
You don't go to basements on a first date, Reagan.
I know, but he had barn doors. He was making a whole nother apartment all by himself.
And his car.
And it's nice. And his car. Did you see his car?
No.
It's brand new. It's a 2021 SUV. It's beautiful.
Is she saying
It has a
anything wrong?
screen in it. Yeah. I started to forget about like everything else, and I was just like, wow, I could start living like this.
Jeez. Real fast. Just a little bit more.
And he was so respectful.
She was
It was
smitten.
beautiful.
What'd you have to drink?
I had a couple cocktails
Ah, there
and
it
some
is.
wine. Yeah.
So
So, do you think you're going to go on a second date?
He wants to bring me to his hockey game tomorrow.
okay, I'm gonna end it there. It's 3 minutes. I was dying at this. Okay,
Jeez, man.
so she's over here just explaining how, starts off by going off and saying that he had a nice car. He had a nice house. He's doing renovations to his home. That he had his crap together. That he was respectful. He didn't try to hit on her. He didn't try to go in for the move. Even though she was at his house, he didn't try to go in for the move. And the weird thing is that she goes on to say that, he's asking her to go to his hockey game, and that he's asking her to go shopping, and that he wants her to buy him an outfit, and he wants to buy her an outfit, make a game out of it. Later on, the video goes on to say that, that he was being very respectful towards her and all that stuff, and that she was looking around his house, thinking to herself, "My God, I want everything that's in here. Like I want this whole package. He has a nice house. He has a nice car. He's respectful of me." So people were commenting on the thread there, and a lot of the women were there saying, "He's a keeper. Don't mess this one up." A lot of the guys were like, "No, dude, red flag." Excuse me, red flag, because she is focused a lot on what he has, not who he is. Although she did say a lot of things about him being respectful and all that. What do you think, Joe? Do you think that this girl is being a little too much, or do you think that she's being materialistic?
I think really at the end of the day, that's the liquor talking, dude. She said she had a couple beers, and a couple
Yeah.
beers, a couple drinks already in her. And I think she's just kind of fantasizing about, hey, I could get used to this kind of life. Somebody taking care of me.
Yeah.
Somebody taking me out, doing things with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out on the town, showing her a good time. She liked that life.
I thought it was funny because a lot of the women were like green flags, and a lot of the guys were like red flags, and a lot of the guys are like, "Dude, you're so nice. You're gonna be in the friend zone real fast." But when it comes to it all, but I found it to be funny. This is my favorite TikTok of the day. Daughter's first date story. She ends it by saying that she's in her early 20s, and that her life is so messed up as far as like doesn't have her crap together. She doesn't know what she wants to be do for a living. She's uncertain about whether or not she's going to finish school and all that stuff. But then she says, but then I see this guy who's all put together, who's just 3 or 4 years older than her. And she goes, there is a wide gulf of like life experience, and of success level. And she's kind of questioning whether or not she can actually cross that gulf and things like that.
You see, this is what I'm saying. Like when you meet the right person in life, or you meet somebody that you want to aspire to be like, you want kind of what they have, and you're with that person, they can actually propel you to meet your full potential. You know what I mean? They inspire you to want to have more and do more. And that's a beautiful thing, man. Like if you're with the right person, just being around them makes you a better person in turn.
Matt Lambert reaches out to us and says, does Mike not know what incels are? To be honest with you, I had no idea what it was until I looked it up right now. So according to Wikipedia, an incel is an involuntary celibate, is a term for closely associated with online subculture of people, mostly male and heterosexual, who define themselves as unable to get a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one. Apparently, it's a term that was created 25 years ago, back in the late 90s. There's a lot of terms like that I hear, and I see it getting thrown around, and I just don't think anything of it. But I do see that as an issue. I mean, if you want to get into it, you go into all the people who are doing crazy shit in the world, right? Like shooting up schools, the ones that are going out and doing all these crazy things and terroristic things. They all have something in common. They don't got a lady. I mean, it is sexual frustration that gets taken out in a different way. And, I found this to be fascinating because, this woman is 22 years old. I have a daughter who's 20, right?
Yeah.
So I hear my daughter's stories when it comes to like, how she doesn't like online dating and she doesn't like this, that, and the other. And me at 46, about to start dating again. And it's a little bit strange. But I come at it differently.
Yeah, you know what I've actually loved, and while you're talking with me, the San Antonio Spurs, like their PR team or their social media team,
yeah,
they've been on it lately, dude. Like they
What do they
got a
do?
hold of some AI, it's AI created art, and they're just rolling with it, dude. Like they're just putting out some great graphics as of late. Every time they're gonna, promote, hey, we're playing tonight. They have a new promo, right, that they just put out, and I'm reposting this right now, retweeting it. It says late one in Sacramento, and it's a card, and of course it has the king of spades on there, kind of making it look like the Spurs and versus the Kings. It's great, dude. I like what they're doing lately. I love it.
That is pretty cool. I think that a lot of smaller, like Bear County Social Apparel, right? You have these other local groups with the different flavor associated with it. I think they're upping the game of these organizations,
forcing them to do stuff,
forcing them to be a little bit more
think outside the box.
Yes.
Speaking of thinking outside the box, I'm going to start promoting more of our online store. Some of the merch we got going on in there, and one of the shirts is one that you like. We're gonna have to buy them so we can wear them here on the show.
Oh,
it's Marbach
nice. I like it. You know what else is nice? The Spurs are gonna have a watch party over at the Rock at La Cantera.
Nice.
It's gonna be Friday night when the Spurs take on the Golden State Warriors. Watch party begins at 6:00. Tip off at 7:30. Again, it's gonna be over at the Rock at La Cantera. There they have a bunch of taco trucks. They have a full bar there. You can check out the Spurs practice facility. You can't go inside, but you can kind of check it out from there, see where that's all at. It's a Rocket La Cantera. People ask the question, well, where is that? Because if you go onto your iPhone and you try to map it out, it's not there. It's a new building. It's just not there. So the best way to get over there is if you're coming from San Antonio, go towards the rim and exit like you're going to Fiesta, Texas.
Yeah.
But do not turn into the Fiesta, Texas.
Turn around.
Do the U-turn.
Okay.
Okay. On the right-hand side, there will be a small street. You're going to take that street over. And once you get to the stop sign, you're going to see the Rock. And then you can just kind of meander your way through there.
I think I know what
you can't see it from the mall.
Yeah.
You can't see it from Fiesta, Texas. You can't see it from the rim. So you got to do that UE, hook a right, and it's right there. Okay. And the Spurs right now have the Spurs Club over there, and they have limited it to 300 participants that are going to be out there who are going to be members of the club.
The country club kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so maybe, just maybe, that could be a giveaway of what we do over here.
We do have a giveaway too.
Well, give me a giveaway.
Yeah, we're giving away some Spurs tickets this week with the shirt.
Nice.
Fiesta medals, the Spurs Fiesta medals, to one of our listeners or to one of our viewers that have been, engaging with us and interacting with us from day one. So I'm going to be reaching out to them later on today.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe a giveaway could be a visit to the Rock.
There you go.
And go into the Spurs Club, which is an exclusive thing. We have access to that.
Yeah.
And we can take you there. And the thing is, there are rules about going to the Rock at La Cantera. And if you are in the Spurs Club, which is a really nice place, you got to dress up. Okay. You can't go there in shorts. No baseball caps allowed. Basically, church attire.
So what I'm wearing is fine then? Buttoned-up shirt?
Button-up shirt.
Except for the short.
Slacks.
Yeah.
Polo with slacks, long sleeve shirt with slacks, sports coat. That's what's needed over there. Also, a rule over there is no photos allowed in there. Okay, so there's no we're at the bar at the Rock selfie. Let's do TikToks. That's not what they do over there. But you can take photos outside of the bar, outside of the club. It's a pretty cool facility out there. I've gone to go tour it. So you and I have access to that. So maybe we can do that as a thing because the 300 members that are there, we just so happen to be a part of that group.
Yeah, bring somebody along with us.
Yeah.
It's nice,
Have a good time out there. Have some drinks, have some dinner, have some breakfast, all that stuff. But the Rock, the 300 Club over there, if you will, it's going to be opening up in late March for some. Some are going to be able to go in April. Some are going to go in May. So Chris Gonzalez asking the question. So can I wear a shirt that says Pop can retire? Dude, Pop is the boss over there, dude. Pop is the boss over there. But the thing about it is that you have to there are rules. I mean, there is a 10 commandments of rules when you walk in that place.
Yeah.
That you have to abide by. And this is not something that belongs to you. That's something that belongs to me, something that belongs to my company. And it's pretty cool, dude. It's pretty cool.
Look at Sean Quintero. He says he'll also throw in $100 for PF Chang's.
There you go.
That's a good thing. Giveaway.
That's a really good giveaway. So we have lots of things that we can do. They asked the question, do they sell manganadas at the Rock? They sell margaritas at the Rock. But I don't know if you're going to find manganadas. Now, at the outside, though, if you go to the Fan Fiesta watch party, which, again, is going to be March 9th, which is not Friday. I apologize. That is Saturday. Tip off at 7:30. Party begins at 6. I've had fun there. I got to meet Matt Lerman for the first time, or maybe it wasn't the first time, but I got to see him again over there. And I had a lot of people who came up to me and interacted with me. It is so funny. It is so funny whenever someone meets me, like they meet me at a Spurs game at the Frost Bank Center, or they meet me over at the games over in Houston or whatnot, and they don't like me. But then they meet me for 5 minutes and they're like, hey, I like you.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. Dwight Yoakam style, baby. What did he say? You don't know me if you don't like me. Great song. Hey, let's go ahead and get into our baddie brackets because we need to unveil another pod, if you will. So what we're trying to do is trying to find the 2024 hottest baddie, hottest female celebrity. And the rules are, okay, we have Sean Quintero, who's been in our thread. He's been DMing me. The rule is, because he was trying to get us to like nominate people. And I said, they're not hot. And he goes, but they were hot back in the day. That's not the rules. The rules are looks of 2024. Okay. I don't care if they looked hot in 1988. Because if that was the case, Apollonia from Purple Rain would have been in there.
Yeah.
Susanna Hoffs of the Bengals would have been in there. But no, this is 2024 baddies. And we have pods going in where we have a poll of 4 people. Top 2 advance. Top 2 in advance. And then once it gets down to the final 16, what we're going to do is we're going to then do one-on-one battles. And at the end of March Madness, we're going to have the baddie of the baddies.
There you go, man.
Okay. So yesterday, we unveiled the wrestling division. I did not want a wrestling division, but the fact of the matter is that the people demanded it, so the people got it. And in the first pod, we had Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, and Sky Blue. I said that I would think this is a legit thing if over 100 people voted, and guess what? Over 100 people did vote.
Wow.
Sasha Banks won with 36% of the vote, followed closely by Alexa Bliss at 34%. So Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, welcome to the Sweet 16, or at least to the next round. Sky Blue with 19%, Bianca Belair with 11%. In the other category, man, we have a runaway winner, dude.
Oh, I bet.
We had a runaway winner. People love some Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus with over 50% of the vote. Also advancing. And people were reaching out saying, dude, Trish Stratus is hot, but she's old. What about Tiffany Stratton? Well, she came in second, so she advances. Tiffany Stratton, dude, is smoking, dude. Zelina Vega came in third in that pod. Samantha Irvin, who I think is smoking hot, finished last.
Really?
So again,
The guys in the group like a certain type, man.
they either like him Latina or blonde with big boobs.
Exactly.
Latina with ass, blonde with big boobs. That's basically the demographic that I have come across here.
Yeah.
What is that Spurs Central logo that I see there?
Which one? Oh, I don't know. It's nothing. It's X.
It just says
I think it
X.
was a comment or what do you call it? Like,
Yeah.
it's a
Oh,
comment.
it's a Twitter comment that's not
Twitter
coming
comment.
through.
It's not coming through. It's there, but it's not coming through.
Yeah. No, so again, we're going to unveil the new pod. So now let's come up with the names of people who are going to be part of the Quirky division. So I've got to take out some names here because I've got 10 names and I don't want it to be all of one ethnicity, right? So I want to kind of vary it up a little bit. Let's give some flavor to it all. So I'm going to take out a couple of names and let me add this one to it. Oh my God. Okay. So I want to add, someone asked me to add Rashida Jones to the Quirky list. So I want to add Rashida Jones, but we got to take out somebody here. These are the Quirky girls. These are the adorkable girls. These are the girls that might not be smoking hot, but it's because of their personality, their bubbliness, that might take them to a next level. So we're going to put these in a pods, but I don't know which four are going to go where, but here's some of the names. Zoe Deschanel. We know her as Jess Day on New Girl. Anna Kendrick. I mean, she was nominated for an Academy Award for Up in the Air. She's known for all the Pitch Perfect movies, for Trolls, The Cups. Remember that?
I remember that.
Aubrey Plaza of Parks and Rec. She's a hottie. She's crazy. She was in a movie with Anna Kendrick back in the day.
Oh, I remember that. And she is smoking hot, dude.
Do I put down Mila Vanatrub's her real name, or because remember
Lily.
Topanga? Remember Danielle Fishel?
Yeah.
She finished last because people don't know her as that. They know her as Topanga.
It's Miliana Van Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go with her real name or her stage name, which is AT&T Lily.
Yes. Yes to Lily.
Taylor Tomlinson, stand-up comedian. I think she's hot. She has a new Netflix special.
Mario Cavazos brings up a good topic here. He says, add a plus-size division.
Oh,
to add
I
Baby
like it.
Rexa, Ashley Graham. For those who like some cushion for the push.
I like it, Mario. That is a good one. But then again, you're going to have some of the ladies get upset because they're going to be like, well, you think she's plus size? But I like where he's thinking with that. That's why I'm saying the Sweet 16 is we might have to add on to it a little bit. like a consolation bracket where they have to battle it out against each other. What about Zendaya?
What about her?
I think she's pretty.
She's a pretty girl, man.
She's kind of quirky.
Yeah.
She was in the Spider-Man movies.
MJ.
Euphoria.
That was quirky. Yeah.
Haley Williams of Paramore.
That's your
for
girl.
That's for a certain breed, man.
You like her.
I love her, dude.
Yeah.
Haley Williams, dude. She is as they say, she's invited to the cookout. She's loved by whites, loved by blacks, loved by Hispanics. Haley Williams.
Chris Gonzalez, Taylor Tomlinson out.
Okay, so then the
Kat Dennings is hot, dude.
Yeah, but Kat Dennings is on the TV realm.
But
so.
she's kind of that.
She's a goth hot.
No, she's a quirkiness hot, dude. She's a like nerdy hot.
I wouldn't call her nerdy. I mean, no. Maybe because of Two Broke Girls, I don't think of it that way. What about Emma Stone?
Yeah, she's cute.
I mean, I watched Superbad again last night for like the 900th time. You know, she was Jules.
I remember that.
And then we have Rashida Jones. But did we kick Rashida Jones out? I mean, is Rashida Jones hot? I mean, I don't think Rashida Jones is unattractive. I mean, I think she's really pretty. But does she have a chance to advance? Rashida Jones.
I don't see why not. I mean, she's cute.
All right. So we're going to put Rashida Jones in there. So we'll take Taylor Tomlinson out. I wanted to have a stand-up comedian in there. But Zoe Deschanel is the definition of quirky. Anna Kendrick has a chance to run through the brackets. Anna Kendrick has a chance to run to the Final Four. there are guys who feel a certain way about her.
She's cute, man.
Aubrey Plaza, dark horse. That is somebody who you look at Aubrey Plaza and you think about it and you're like, you know what? You know, on a deserted island, I'd want to take that one. AT&T Lily, Quirky. So people are asking the question, Matt Lerma saying Zendaya should be in the Hollywood division. The problem with that is that Zendaya is mostly known these days for streaming, for Euphoria and things like that. I don't consider Zendaya a movie star. I just consider her an entertainer.
Tim Gonzalez says Zendaya could make a serious deep run in the bracket.
Mario Cavasso saying Bella Thorne,
Oh yeah,
who was on a show with Zendaya a long time
that was
ago.
on the Disney
Turns
Channel.
out to be a nugget. Bella Thorne is, dude. I mean, dude. By the way, I found out where Nugget came from.
Where'd it come from?
We're gonna unveil this tomorrow
Okay.
because I know we have Spernandez on tomorrow to talk boxing.
Yeah.
But we may have a co-host tomorrow here sitting next to me.
Oh, nice.
I've been talking to Anthony Pittman, formerly of KBB Maximum Sports.
Yeah, I miss Pitt, dude.
Yeah, so Pitt might be in tomorrow.
Nice.
I was asking him about it because I was saying, Pitt, weren't you the one who came up with Nugget? Because I said that on the show, and he told me where it came
the
from.
origin.
He told me the origin of Nugget,
Yeah.
and it wasn't him.
Ah.
And I was like, oh, and then the legend continues to grow. So now we have to figure that out. But he told me the origin, so we'll get into that tomorrow. Tim Gonzalez says that he can see a deep run. Oh, you mentioned that one.
Yeah.
That Zendaya can make a deep run. Zendaya, I mean, it all depends on what you find to be attractive, because I've been seeing this meme. I see it all over the place, whether it be on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. It's like everyone's sharing it, and it's a Taylor Swift, right? And it shows the booties of the two women that he was with before, that Travis Kelce was with before, and then they show that Taylor Swift doesn't have much junk in the trunk, right?
Yeah.
And the caption says, "You can't tell me that Travis Kelce's happy." The attractiveness that you have for somebody changes based on who they are, right? You might go out, you might have a type, right? But that doesn't mean that you won't go outside of your norm if you really like somebody, right? You can go from a curvy girl to a skinny girl. You can go from a girl who's busty to a girl who has a big butt. You can go back and forth. You can go from white to Hispanic, Hispanic to black, and black to Asian, and back and forth. That doesn't mean anything.
No.
And that's where the whole thing about the baddie brackets, I think, is kind of funny, is that when it comes down to it, the quirkiness battle, I mean, you might look at it and go, okay, quirky battle, none of those girls would go up against Trish Stratus, right? Or would go up against a Paige Sporonic, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the battle royale at the end, and it gets down to the Elite Eight, and let's say that it is an Anna Kendrick versus a Salma Hayek, or what if it's a Paige Sporonic against a Salma Hayek? I think it's going to be a very interesting debate that we can have about this, because attractiveness is beyond just beauty, okay? Because people look at Anna Kendrick in a certain way, dude. Anna Kendrick, just the personality. If you look at Hayley Williams, lead singer of Paramore, she's attractive because of what she does for a living.
Yeah.
You know how we said Marbach hot? Anthony Pittman used to always say TV hot. Back in the day,
Yeah.
Anthony Pittman would talk about, like, we'd be talking about reporters when he was single and when I was single.
Yeah.
And he would go, is she hot, or is she hot just because she's on TV? You know?
Yeah.
And I think the one that we talked about back in the day, this was like years ago, was Tina Fey when she was on 30 Rock.
Yeah, yeah.
Was she hot, or was she
cute.
hot because she was on TV?
No, she was cute, dude. I mean, she's hot.
Yeah. So, man, it's funny. But Matt Lerma says being a billionaire will make you forget about a big ass.
Oh God, man.
So Zendaya, is she the one that's out, or is Taylor Tomlinson the one that's out?
Taylor Tomlinson, I think, is the one that they wanted out. They wanted Zendaya in.
I think Taylor Tomlinson would actually has a chance of getting that second spot. I don't think Taylor Tomlinson's going to win number one. I'm showing some photos. I don't think she's going to be number
Let's see.
one. I don't think she's going to win the number one. But you know what? For a quirky girl, She ain't ugly, dude. I have a hard
Not at
time
all.
believing that she's going to be the one that gets kicked out. She's a cutie. She's the definition of quirky. I think Taylor Tomlinson stays in,
All right.
but someone needs to get out. Aubrey Plaza has to stay in.
She does, man. She deserves
Anna
to be
Kendrick
there.
has to stay in. AT&T Lily has to stay in. Zoe Deschanel. You know what? Maybe we kick Zoe Deschanel out. I mean, it's been a long time since New Girl.
She's getting up there in age already.
Or do we kick out Emma Stone?
Oh, that's a tough one, dude.
Because we're adding Rashida Jones to the mix.
I'd say kick out Zoe Deschanel.
I mean, it's her bracket.
Well, it's Emma Stone then, dude.
Okay, we're going to add Rashida Jones to this. But again, we're going to have another bracket of just a hodgepodge of people that are being recommended to us.
Hey, there's video right now. I've just reposted it right on my Twitter. Fighting Mike Tyson at 57 will be easy, and they're showing him in the ring right now with a sparring partner. Well, a guy that's helping him, get his hand speed up and stuff. Showcasing what he can do. I don't know if you can see that.
Where's it at?
It's on my Twitter.
Sorry, I'm looking at Taylor Tomlinson. You has a thing for Taylor Tomlinson, who likes a big crush on Taylor Tomlinson?
No.
Is James Pledger over at San Diego Sports.
Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. We should get Pledger on. So if you just go to my profile on the left-hand side at the bottom near the post, you should be able to see it.
Now, Mike Tyson
there he is throwing hands.
Is no longer. He will be 58 when it's all said and done.
Look at that, man. Come on, man. Get it, son.
Plus 300. I'll be in Vegas. I can make these bets.
Bro, Tyson he's going to knock, what's his name, Paul out, dude. First round. Kid's going to be done. KO'd.
The problem is, you know what this looks like? You can't keep this up for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds. It just seems to me like it's more of the same. But if Mike Tyson doesn't knock him out in 10 seconds or 20 seconds, he's done. Man, show me what Mike Tyson's doing at the end of this, after 30 seconds of this.
Smoking weed. He's relaxing, bro.
He's playing with his pigeons at that point.
He's chilling, man.
Playing with his pigeons, man, Don't forget Jeff Garcia, Locked On Spurs, Ken's 5. Oh, there's a photo of Alperen Sengun right there. 45 points. I'm going to say Wemby was hurt. That was the reason why. We're going to get some love.
Taylor Tomlinson is TV hot. Bam. That was a good one. Yeah, we're going to give some love to some of our peeps here, man. So we got to go ahead and play the little intro here the video.
Let's do it. We'll come back and do a little bit.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow, not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And we're also going to give some love to MCS General Contracting and our boy, Chris Leha. MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
I can't wait for the before and after of when they get done with my house. By the way, some prayers up to Brittany Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' wife. According to TMZ Sports, she fractured her back. saying that she did not take care of herself after having 2 kids back to back. I mean,
Ouch.
she had kids, right after each other, and she said that she fractured her back and she needs to take it easy for a while. So had their first child in 2021. A year later, had another child, and she's going to be on the swimsuit edition, the SI swimsuit edition coming up. She does a lot for the community over there in Kansas City, former athlete herself. So I found that to be kind of sad. The prayers up to her. I'm looking forward to the baddie brackets tonight. We're gonna post this in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Dio is saying that Zoe Deschanel needs to be in there because she takes the dub.
Well, I think you're going to leave her in, aren't you? You're going to take out Emma Stone.
Yeah, someone said to move Emma Stone to the Hollywood Starlets.
Yeah, I think you should, dude.
See, the problem is Emma Stone could run through the Quirky girls, but dude, she's gonna go through a buzzsaw. It's like the 1930s Yankees lineup. When you have like Gehrig and Babe Ruth and all that stuff.
They're not the same.
Yeah, it's like you got Ana de Armas and you've got Gal Gadot. And
look, man, Emma Stone's cute, man, but she's gonna be outshined.
Jonathan C. Gingers have no souls.
Oh God! Wow, he must have dated a ginger.
That's funny, dude.
Wow, man.
Well, hope everyone has an amazing day today. What is today? Today's the end of the week, right? Almost.
It's already Thursday, man.
So we got Friday tomorrow.
Yeah, and spring break starts next week for all the kids. For the kids,
as Mike Taylor would say.
Yeah, all the time, dude. So spring break's going to start for the kids this Friday, actually. This is going to be their last day for a whole week. So now the parents are going to have to put up with these damn kids. They're going to run up the grocery bills, man. That's what mine's going to be doing for me.
They are. And Dio reaching out to us, or is it Dilo, rather, say that he cannot choose between Armas and Margot Robbie. Let me throw some other names out there. What about Scarlett Johansson?
Hey.
I mean,
she's top tier, man.
Hey, for Quirky, real fast, I'm looking at the names here. Do you know who we didn't have in there?
Who?
Jenna Ortega.
Oh, okay. Jenna Ortega deserves to be in there somewhere.
So we're gonna do, you know what? I'm gonna move Haley Williams to the musicians and bump out BB, and I'll move BB to the big girl category because I like that. I like the big girl category. Let me jot that down. We're gonna have a plus size category. Plus size category. It sounds so bad. That's gonna be the one that I'm gonna need you to tweet out there because I'm gonna get shit.
Which one?
From people when they're like, "Are you having a plus size category?"
What's wrong with that?
It just is what it is, dude.
What's wrong with that?
All right, so move Emma Williams out. Emma Stone's out. Haley Williams out. So, okay, so the Quirky girls are going to be a combination of Zoe Deschanel, Anna Kendrick, Aubrey Plaza, AT&T Lily, Taylor Tomlinson, Zendaya, Rashida Jones, and Jenna Ortega. I think that's a good mix there. I think that's a good mix.
It is, man.
Who are the 1 seeds on that? I think the 1 seeds have to be Kendrick and AT&T Lily, right? You can't have them in the same bracket.
Oh, so there's a lot of thinking that needs to be had, dude.
And then I don't want to have. So we okay. Part of this is me wanting to separate races as well. That's part of it as well. So I'll separate Rashida Jones from Zendaya. And then Taylor Tomlinson shouldn't be in the same bracket as Aubrey Plaza because they kind of bring the same vibe.
Yeah.
So we'll make this happen. I feel like I'm the college football committee trying to pick the playoff teams and do brackets.
Oh, man.
But what does Chris Gonzalez say? As KD said, I will drink Scarlett Johansson's bathwater.
God, man.
Hey, no lies detected, as you like to say, Joe.
Look at Rashida Jones and Drake's Nice for What music video.
Okay, before we go, we got to look that up real fast because I have no idea what he's talking about there. Drake, Nice for What, you said?
Oh, it's Drake's Nice for What music video.
All right, let's see here.
Hey, but remember the audio, man. We can't play that.
All right, I am muting it. It is muted. Vivo, here we are. Let's see here. Let's get Rashida Jones going. Rashida Jones is kind of low-key hot.
Yeah. Let me know when the video starts, and I'll come back to it.
I'm on,
You're on it.
but that's not her. Let's see here. That's not her. Is that Olivia Wilde? Who is that? There she is. All right. I see you, Rashida. Let me rewind that part right here. Let me see. Let's take a look at her. Not bad. Her daddy worth like $1 billion too.
Damn.
We should do like a billionaires division.
Billionaire babies.
Yeah, and people were asking me online, why isn't there a local media version of it all? And I'll tell you why.
Oh,
Because I know most of them,
God.
and I can't do a baddie brackets with former coworkers and friends.
Yeah, that would be a little disheartening to them.
Yeah.
I'm sure, man.
Yeah, because people are like, they're naming names, and I'm like, okay, well, I consider Sarah Fergani a friend.
Yeah.
I consider,
And she's super nice and super sweet, dude.
yeah, I consider Audrey Castoreno a friend, and all these people from KBB and from KSAT and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I consider them all friends, so can't have a baddie bracket of people that I know.
Yeah. Hey,
John C says I'm going to end up with more divisions than boxing. Too many divisions. Okay, so the thing is this: we have the main brackets, but we're going to have this secondary bracket. Maybe I'll get rid of one. I'm going to get rid of the TV one because no one watches TV anymore.
No, God.
Do you know who I did? What bracket I didn't do? Athletes.
There's too many brackets, dude.
Livy Dunn versus a Kelsey Plum versus a, fill in the blank, whoever the tennis hotties are these days.
Just too many brackets, too many categories, dude.
But we're narrowing it down to 8. I like the quirky division. We'll get the quirky one going right now.
Hey, just real quick, our latest poll where I said, will you be watching the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight? It's kind of close, man. 55% say they will not be watching. 45% said yes, they will watch.
55%
say
are
no.
Lying. And right now, in my poll, 104 people have voted in my poll. 43% say not interested. 32% saying bring it on. The rest, 25% saying it's gonna be a train wreck. Probably right. But Mike Tyson, we saw a video of him of what he can do in the ring for 15 seconds. The question is, can he do it for longer than that? Everyone,
Maria Medina just said, look. She's local media here.
Who's that?
Maria Medina.
Mariah Medina?
Mariah, yeah.
Oh, dude, I reached out to her recently. She is with WOAI, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I actually reached out to her to compliment her on what she does because I was a TV news producer for 10 years. And I reached out to her to basically tell her that I thought she was doing a fantastic job, that she has upped her game. When I watch local news, because I was a producer for 10 years, I watch it differently than most people. And I can see when people take leaps. We talk about the leaps that athletes take. We hope that Devin Vassell takes the leap, and Keldon takes the leap, and Sohan takes a leap, right?
Yeah.
In the media, it's very much like that too. And Mariah Medina, who's a reporter for WOAI, took a leap in what she was doing. And she is a very attractive woman. But this is the reason why I don't want to do it, is because I run in these circles, and she does a fantastic job with WOAI. I'm not going to have a baddie bracket when it comes to the reporters because I know them, I respect them and what they do. But she does a very, very, very good job over there with WOAI doing what she does. So, as Forrest Gump would say, and that's all I have to say about that. Very cool. Hope everyone has a fantastic Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia.
Talking boxing tomorrow. We'll see you boys. Peace.
Bye.